Want to learn English naturally without boring grammar books? These real-life adventure stories make you remember vocabulary and structures without trying. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. We've got a new one for you every day. Her name was Layla, and she was in a new city with no plan at all. She had arrived the night before. Her small backpack was still heavy from the train ride. Her phone had no internet. She had a paper map, a water bottle, and a pencil in her pocket. And one crazy idea in her head. That morning, when she left the small guest house, she told herself, "Today, I will let someone else guide me." She walked down the street slowly, looking at the faces around her. Locals rushed past, heading to work. Tourists stood at corners, turning maps upside down. Cafes were opening, and the smell of coffee floated through the air. But nothing looked special. Nothing looked beautiful. She didn't want to go where everyone went. She didn't want museums or shops or a famous statue. She wanted something real. Something quiet. Something beautiful. And that's when she saw him. An older man was sitting on a wooden chair outside a bakery. He had a newspaper on his lap and wore a brown jacket, even though the day was warm. He looked peaceful, not in a rush. Layla stopped. She took a breath. Then she walked over and said, "Excuse me, can you show me the way to a beautiful place?" The man raised his eyebrows. He looked at her for a second, then pointed down a small road beside the bakery. He didn't say a word. Just pointed. Layla nodded, smiled, and followed the direction of his hand. The street was narrow and quiet. She passed homes with flower boxes on the windows. One woman was watering plants. A cat sat on a step, watching her without blinking. The noise of the city disappeared. After 10 minutes of walking, the street opened into a hidden courtyard. It was small, with a tree in the middle. Around the edges there were stone benches, and behind them old walls covered in green ivy. A few people sat reading. A young boy kicked a ball against the wall. The sound echoed gently like a soft drum. Layla sat on a bench and looked around. It wasn't famous, but it was calm and beautiful. She sat for a while, writing in her notebook with the pencil she had brought. Just words, colors, smells, feelings. Then she stood up. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was the place. But something inside her said not yet. He kept walking. After a few more turns, she found herself near a bridge. Below it, a narrow stream flowed quietly between tall trees. A couple stood at the edge, throwing crumbs for ducks. Layla leaned on the side of the bridge and looked down. The water sparkled under the sunlight. Was this the beautiful place? Maybe. But she wasn't done yet. She took the paper map from her pocket, but it didn't help. She had walked too far off the grid. So she liked it that way. She walked without a goal. No GPS. No voice in her ear. Just her feet, her eyes, and the memory of that man's quiet answer. At the next corner she turned left. Then right. Then found herself in front of a music shop. The door was open. A soft guitar melody came from inside. Layla walked in. The shop smelled like wood and old paper. In one corner, a young man tuned a violin. In another, a woman placed small recorders on a shelf. Nobody spoke. Layla didn't touch anything. He just stood there and listened. After a few minutes, she stepped back out. The sky was a brighter blue now. The streets were warmer. She crossed the road and entered a small alley. And that's when she saw it. A garden, hidden behind 2 stone walls. It had no sign, no gate, just an open path, and inside wild plants, roses, and a tree with red fruit. No cars. No people. Only wind. Layla sat on a flat stone under the tree. She didn't take photos. She didn't check the time. She just closed her eyes and let the quiet wrap around her. She had no idea how far she had walked. She had asked only one question that morning, and followed wherever it led. And now she had found not just one beautiful place but many. A peaceful courtyard. A slow river. A silent music shop. And this garden hidden from everything. She thought of the man with the brown jacket again. How did he know? How did he choose that street? Maybe he didn't. Maybe it didn't matter. Maybe the beauty was not in the place. Maybe it was in the walking. The wondering. The not knowing. Layla sat until the sun started to lower in the sky. Birds flew above. A few leaves fell beside her. Then she stood up, stretched, and started walking again, this time with no direction at all. But she carried something with her now. Not just a map or a notebook. She carried the memory of what happened when you ask a small question in a big city. And listen. Today you learned how to ask strangers for help, explore new places, and describe beauty in English, without needing grammar charts or vocabulary lists. That's the power of stories. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. We post new stories every day. And tell us in the comments, if you asked someone for a beautiful place, where do you hope they'd send you?